Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something pretty wild, an invisible lifelong record that's being created for every child, sometimes before they've even said their first word. We're talking about children's data privacy and what this massive collection of information really means for the next generation.
And this quote right here from our source material, it just perfectly captures this strange new world our kids are being born into. One where their digital identity starts taking shape long before they have any idea what an identity even is.
So how does this all happen? How does this digital childhood actually get built? Well, in this first section, we're going to unpack that core problem, the quiet creation of a permanent, invisible digital file on every single child, starting from day one.
I mean, really think about it. From the very first ultrasound photos that get shared on social media to the smart toys that track how they play, data is just constantly being scooped up. And this isn't just, a cute photo album. It's a permanent archive, a detailed digital history being constructed without a child's consent or even their knowledge.
Okay, so what's the engine driving all of this? It's a concept called surveillance capitalism. As you can see, it's basically an economic model that treats every single thing we do online, every click, every search, every video we watch, as a valuable resource, something to be mined for profit. This is the why behind all that data collection.
This slide, wow, it really puts the shift into perspective. On the left, you've got the offline childhood most of us remember. Room to grow, mess up, and figure things out in private. But on the right, you see the online childhood. Constant monitoring, a memory that never forgets, and an identity that's recorded and analyzed, potentially locking kids into a digital version of who they were when they were little. So this constant data collection, it starts to build into something much, much bigger. In our next section, we'll see how we're moving way beyond just targeted ads and into territory with some seriously high stakes. What some are calling an Orwellian reality.
Yeah, our source makes a pretty shocking comparison, right? Straight to George Orwell's 1984. But the twist is, instead of one all-seeing government, the surveillance is being done by powerful corporations. And the goal isn't just to watch, it's to use that data as a tool for control, all driven by profit.
This is such a brilliant analogy. Data is the new oil. Think about it. Just like control over oil shaped the politics and economy of the last century, control over data is shaping our world right now. This isn't just about privacy anymore. It's about who holds the power in the 21st century.
And this is where we have to start thinking about the long-term consequences, because this goes way beyond getting an ad for sneakers. We have to ask the kind of question you see on this slide. Will a random, curious thing a teenager searches for at 14 be used by some algorithm years later to deny them a spot in college or a job interview? Now let's throw artificial intelligence into the mix. AI systems are being designed to make judgments and predictions. So what happens when these systems are fed a lifetime of childhood data? As the slide asks, will they start making assumptions about adults based on their behavior as kids? Basically locking them into a digital destiny they grew out of long ago. It all boils down to this really fundamental question about our own autonomy. If this digital pass is built for you, without you ever agreeing to it, can you ever truly get away from it? Can you fix it? Or, as the slide asks, can you even delete it? Are we creating a permanent record that kids can never, ever escape from? Now, you might be thinking, surely there are laws against this, right? Well, governments have definitely tried to step in. In our next section, we're going to take a look at the legal landscape and see where these laws are working and, more importantly, where they're coming up short. This table gives you a quick global tour, and you can see right away everyone's trying something a little different. The US's COPPA is all about parental consent for kids under 13, but India's DPDPA bumps that all the way up to 18.
The EU's GDPR has a broader focus on age-appropriate consent. And then you have the UK's AADC, which is really interesting because it forces companies to design their services with privacy by default. It really shows this global struggle to figure out the right way to handle this.
But here's the catch. As this slide shows, the laws often aren't enough. Enforcement can be spotty, tech companies are great at finding loopholes, and then there's consent fatigue. That's that feeling we've all had where we're so overwhelmed with these long, confusing privacy policies and I agree buttons that we just click through without reading, accidentally signing away our kids' data. The whole system kind of puts the burden on parents, and it's designed to be confusing.
So all of this brings us to the proposed solution. Our source argues that we don't just need better laws. We need a totally new philosophy, a whole new way of thinking about what childhood should even look like in this digital age.
At the very heart of this new philosophy is reframing what we even mean by privacy. It's not about hiding things or having secrets. As this slide says so well, it's about empowerment. It's about having the right to experiment, to make mistakes, and to just figure out who you are without some algorithm watching and judging your every move.
So the source lays out a pretty clear three-step path forward. Step 1. Embed privacy directly into the design of products, shifting the responsibility back onto the tech companies. Step 2. Empower kids with real digital literacy, which means not just teaching them how to use an app, but how to question it. And finally, Step 3. Elevate children's voices. Actually treat them like stakeholders who have valuable things to say about the digital worlds they live in.
And this slide really drives home the point that no single group can fix this on their own. It has to be a shared responsibility. We need lawmakers, tech companies, parents, and educators all working together to push back against this idea that constant surveillance is just normal.
So, in the end, the source leaves us with this one final, really provocative question. Because this isn't just about data privacy, is it? It's about protecting the freedom to grow up, to change, to define who you want to be. Are we willing to fight for that freedom, for the next generation? That's really the fundamental question we all need to answer.